So guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have the JBuds Airsport S true wireless earbuds. These are from JLAB. They have 40 hours of playtime, which is not bad at all. It's going to get you well through an entire day of work, even if you're working a double shift. They are $24.99 at Ross, if you can, I'm sorry, not Ross, at Burlington Coat Factory if you can find them, but they're normally $60 online. Though if I find a cheaper link on Amazon, I will give it to you guys, so, don't worry about that part. But let's talk a little bit specifications while I unbox this for you. So first things first, they have a 6-hour battery life. It says 6.5 online. Some say 6 hours. I'm going to say 6.5. And then 34 hours inside the case itself. It takes about an hour and a half for the buds to actually charge themselves. I believe that's also, well, the bud's about an hour and a half from 0 to 100%. And then we're looking at 3 hours for the case itself. So they don't have like a truly fast charging aspect to it, which isn't life or death. I don't really care personally. Right here you have the IP66 sweat resistance. So for the people out there that is sweating, you're at the gym, you're doing your deep knee bends, running, lifting, and things like that, this is going to work perfectly fine for you in that regard. They do have a movie mode though. Now the only bad part is you would think that earbuds this size would have active noise cancellation. Apparently they do not have active noise cancellation, which is a huge bummer if I'm being completely honest with you. But again, not life or death. Everyone buys headphones for different reasons. Obviously you want the most for your buck, but some people love JLabs. I happen to like the company, and if you're a loyal JLab user, then something like this would probably be good for you. Now with that being said, right here, this is actually the packet for the rubber tips. Let me just go ahead and take that out right here. Oops, oh, a couple fell out. That's okay. That's okay. More importantly, I wanted to show you the blue tips. Now, I love these, right? And it's still stuck inside the box, but here's one of the blue tips. This right here is a soft foam tip. I love the way these feel. Granted, you will stain them easily if you don't clean your ears. You do need to wipe them down daily because it holds a lot of the ear follicles, like the little scrapes and skin cells and things like that. But the blue tips are super, super comfortable. Now, right here, we have the actual case itself. You're probably wondering, where's the charger cord? Well, it's on the bottom of the buds right here. As a matter of fact, if you pop this open like that, you don't have to make the noise when you do it. This is where the USB goes. Now, for a person that isn't familiar with this, this is just a regular USB-A. If you plug this into your computer, you don't need anything extra. You just plug it in just like a regular USB. It just doesn't have the outside housing connected to it right here. But outside of that, so far, I do like to say that these buds are decent for the asking price if you can find them for $24.99. We're going to talk about that $60 price tag in a little bit because I do have some thoughts about that. But again, it is an older headset. So with that being said, that's everything with these. You do have the JLab app support with this particular buds. Of course, you do have touch controls, and we'll go over all those things in this review for the person that wants to skip to the part that they want to skip to. Timestamps in the description. Anyway, with that being said, let me just give you a little preview of the buds right here. With that being said, let's get right into this review and not waste any more time. So the syncing process for these buds should be pretty simple. All we have to do is open up the case right here. I'm going to take the buds outside of the case. As you can see, they're blinking right now. I'm going to let the left side and the right side communicate with one another. While it's doing that, we're going to go to the settings of the Bluetooth itself. Hit scan right here. See if they pop up. There we go. JLAB Jbuds Airsport. Going to go ahead and tap that. Now I'm using a Samsung device to sync them right now, so it might ask me to, here we go. Oh, so it didn't ask me. Just go ahead and pair, and you're good to go. That simple, that easy. Now, what I do want to say to you guys that if you're using these buds, and let's say you sync them to a non-Samsung device, it might ask you for your call log. You don't have to say yes. You can go ahead and say no if it asks for access to like your contacts and things like that. So just keep it in mind. But these don't have multi-point, so follow these instructions. It's very simple to sync. So if we talk about the quality of the music for these particular buds, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. There is a good aspect and then there's a very bad aspect. So let me explain. The good outweighs the bad, but you'll understand what I mean. If you get them for the $24.99 or a discounted price, I don't have anything negative to say about the music aspect. Is actually pretty good for the asking price. But when you pay $50 or $60 for these buds, depending what the original price was when they came out, I just can't imagine them outselling the competition, especially when, more features are added for other companies. But anyway, we'll get to that in a moment. The first thing is the bass is pretty good on this. The vocals sound pretty good. The volume on them is pretty good. So as you turn it up past 50, 60, 70%, you know how normally headphones start breaking up and sounding really weird and just the bass sounds stretched out and it's not as pronounced anymore. I don't have a problem with these on these buds at all. It actually sounds good from 0%, I'm just kidding, 10% all the way up to 100%. They sound very clear. They sound very concise, very good. I think that anyone that purchases these, especially if you're just walking through a department store, you happen to see them hanging like, oh, JLAB, I heard of that brand, or, let me look at a quick YouTube video. For the most part, you're going to get decent enough reviews and referring to the music aspect. Again, the equalizer, whether you change the custom equalizers, they sound perfectly fine. I don't have anything bad to say about the music quality. I think that the average person will buy these and be like, you know what, they sound very pronounced, they sound very good, they seem very sturdy, and I just want something cheap and affordable to go about my day. And these definitely hit all those check marks. Here's the problem. Regular price at $60. I'm sure more headphones have come out between this time, but a lot of people don't care about the newest thing that's out. They just want what works for them. There are other brands out there that have better sound profiles outside the box for the same asking price. So I got to ask myself, who is JLAB really targeting with this particular headset? I honestly don't know. And granted, I love JLAB products. I have the mouse right here. I love it. I have the keyboard down here, as a matter of fact, that has, Bluetooth. It has 2.4 gigahertz. You can hook it up to 3 things. I love this keyboard. They make really good products, but headphones seem to be a little bit lackluster under the company and started costing more while offering less. To be honest, you can get a better headset for the asking price without paying $50 for these, and you'll be perfectly fine. And it'll be a name brand like Soundcore, or you could even get Skull Candies or other brands, Monster, for example, on Amazon for a discount and get a better deal. But to walk inside a store at $24.99, I do think it's worth it. For $49.99, I don't know about that. I don't really... No multi-point, no active noise cancellation. It's missing too many features to honestly be a real competitor, especially if you find them now. But for the person that doesn't care about those features, it's perfectly fine. And that's what I got to say about the music quality, for being honest here. I know I went over different parameters, but I'm thinking as a regular consumer. I just want to buy something. I don't want to buy something else. I don't want to have to replace it. I just want it to work all the way around. For music quality, you will get it, and you will like the quality of the music. At least everyone that I let test these headphones out, they said the music quality was good, but they felt similar to me, where because they had the opportunity of using different brands and other types of headphones, that this felt a lot lackluster compared to the others. It's not bad, but it's not at a higher tier. It's a mid-tier headset at best. But anyway, there goes the JLAB sponsorship. I never had one, but if they see this video, I definitely won't. Anyway, let's move on to the next section. Unfortunately, these buds don't have any type of app support whatsoever, so if you're expecting a software update, it's just not going to happen. Personally, I think that's really lazy work for them to have older headphones, from my understanding, on here that have app support, while this one doesn't at this price point. But I'm not the company. They decided to do this and release the product as is. Maybe it sold well, maybe it didn't. I'm not too familiar with the sales of JLAB products. But anyway, let's go over a couple of the little functionality. Single taps on the left, it's this is crazy. Single taps on the left, it's volume down, okay? Single tap on the right, it's volume up. Double tap on the left activates your Google services or your iOS services, which is not what I would use a double tap for. Maybe a tap and hold, but they decided to do that. Pause and play is going to be double tap on the right hand side. On the left hand side, you have the option to switch between the movie mode and music mode, which you will hold it for 1 second, the little JLAB button that you see there, the emblem, on the left hand side. On the right hand side, track forward, where you hold it for 1 second in order to go to the next song, it seems. Single taps is for answering on the right hand side. Double taps is for hanging up on the right hand side. So keep in mind, during a phone call, or if you're not on a phone call and someone calls you, the functionality will change in the buds for single taps and double taps. Kind of keep that in mind. Triple taps on the left hand side will change through the equalizers. Now, the three equalizer settings is JLAB signature, balance, and bass boost. And unfortunately for the person out there, you cannot give a custom EQ for whatever reason because they chose to do this. And also, you're going to have to tap the EQ 3 times. The left side 3 times to go through each individual EQ. Personally, I left it on JLAB signature, but that's just me. Some people might like the balance or the bass boost option a little bit better. On the right hand side, we have to pop back over here. If you hold it for 1 second, it'll actually reject the phone call. All right. You can power on the bud or off the bud, technically, if you hold the left side for more than 3 seconds. That's the same on the right hand side. And lastly, triple taps on the right hand side is be aware mode on and off. Be aware mode, for anyone that isn't aware of it, is basically a mode that allows you to be able to hear things while currently wearing the buds. So obviously you wouldn't be playing music or anything like that. You probably just have the earbuds in your ear. You don't want to take them out of the case. You plan on using them again, but you don't want to fumble with a big heavy case. So what ends up happening is you just leave the buds inside of the ear. Now, if I'm being completely honest with you, I feel like the pass-through mode on these particular buds really aren't that great. It's nothing outstanding. It doesn't sound as good as other buds in the same price point category, personally, but again, this is what they chose to do. It seems like they just reskinned another headset, released it into the wild, and just hoped that people bought it. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Again, I normally like JLAB products, but I don't know what they were thinking with this one not having app support. That just doesn't make any sense, especially for $50, $60 for a pair of buds, and you don't even have a way for me to customize my taps and buttons and things like that. That's what people want. They want customization a lot of times, and unfortunately, this does not have it at all. So, hey, keep that in mind if you're planning on buying these buds. So the audio that you guys are hearing right now is from the JBuds themselves. I did switch over the actual microphones so that the OBS software picks up these mics. So this is going to be an accurate assessment of how it sounds, especially what you're going to hear during phone calls and things like that. The clarity or lack of clarity, depending on who's watching this video. Now, the fit and feel. Is that important? Obviously. I don't find these to be very comfortable, personally. Now, when I use them, these aren't very flexible earbuds. They don't really have that flexibility that other buds in the same class really have. I'll just put that one down. I need one to really do the recording. And to be honest with you, maybe 15, 20 minutes after using them, I do feel soreness on the side of my ear, more so right here. And because this is placed directly into my ear, it's really no flexibility. Like, you can wiggle it and kind of make it alleviate some of that pressure. But, you know, unlike other earbuds out there, like, for example, these are obviously newer, but I just want to show you as an example. This is the Soundcore Aerial Fit 2s, I believe they're called. And this is completely flexible right here. Like, people want maximum comfort for their headsets, not super hard plastic that barely moves at all. Like, there's no, it twists and turns, sure, but it will always snap back to its original shape. So, you know, that's kind of a pain in the ass when you really think about things. But at the end of the day, minimal issue. Some people are used to buds like these, and they're perfectly fine with how they feel. I actually had a couple people at work that use JBuds themselves, and they don't really care. They're not familiar with other earbuds, Soundcore. They don't care about Beats. They don't care about AirPods. They just want what they want. They want it to work. It works for them, and they have no complaints whatsoever, and they're not interested in switching. So for that person out there that just wants to get the A to B, these headphones are definitely going to do that when it comes to fit and feel. But for that person out there that's wearing hats, winter hats, different things, they might feel pressure. I wear glasses, and granted, I don't feel like the glasses affected any way, shape, or form. As a matter of fact, they're not even touching the side of my glasses really at all. So I don't feel any pressure in that regard. And if you're exercising, trust me, they are not going to fall out of your ear at all. They're going to sit in the same spot. But I do find the plastic to be a little uncomfortable for prolonged periods of time. Just got to be honest with you guys. So the question is, are they worth the asking price? Now, obviously, it's beauty in the eyes of the beholder. Me personally, I don't think that they're worth $50. But if you can get them for that $24.99 that I did recently, then I say it's a huge steal in that regard. The battery life is only 6.5 hours, and it's even less than that if we talk about the call time. I'm not call time, but talk time in addition to listening time. It gets much, much lower, which is going to be a pain for a lot of people. And for it to be an ear hook design with little to no flexibility for the ear, that's also a big thing for me. I'm an old man now, and even when I wasn't an old man, I just like maximum comfort. I wear Uggs all day. I wear a lot of sweatsuits and things like that. I just want to be comfortable. And even if I go out on a business meeting or something happens, work, I always make sure that I prioritize comfort along with professionalism. And don't get me wrong, they're a nice pair of headphones in terms of how they look. I think the music quality is really, really good. The microphone quality is, I guess, JLAB standard. It doesn't really get that much better than that for their cheaper products. But outside of that, no, I can't say that it's worth $50. But if you're talking about $25, $30, even $35 on sale, absolutely. I think they're not bad. For the average consumer, if you buy them, will you feel disappointed? Not necessarily. I think that you may like it and may watch this video and say, I don't have any of the problems that I'm talking about. And that's perfect if it works for you. I'm not here to tell you not to buy a product. I'm just here to let you know, be warned. If you plan on paying regular price, there are some other options. My suggestion is to check videos out like mine, other people obviously out there on the YouTube landscape that are much more popular, and just kind of get an idea of what it is that you're trying to purchase rather than just doing a quick buy because you see something hanging on a rack. But again, for $24.99, that's not bad. But anyway, like and subscribe like always, guys. I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care, peace, and be safe.